Welcome back to the Just for Clicks podcast. I'm your host, Forrest Whaley, and Merry Christmas to everyone out there. It is the month after Halloween. It is officially November, so that means it's time to break out the mistletoe. It's time to get some festive holiday spirit and cheer going. We sorely need it for 2020, so let's get right into it. I did a couple of streams where I had Christmas music playing in the background, like lo-fi Christmas music. And I caught a little bit of flack for it because people are like, Forrest, you can't forget about Thanksgiving. It's really important that we honor what we're thankful for or whatever. It's like, what are we thankful for? We stole some land from Native Americans. I mean, not my favorite holiday. It's okay. I like getting together with the family, in the non-virusy times and getting together. And I like the turkey autumn theme or whatever. But honestly, Thanksgiving is but a footnote to the Christmas experience. I mean, Christmas is just such a big holiday. I think it really deserves 2 months. So I'm going to keep the Christmas-themed live streams going up until the 25th. Well, actually, I'm probably not going to be streaming much after, or working much at all after our baby's born. Our baby is due December 12th, so she could come earlier than that. I hope she does. She could come later than that. Hopefully not. But somewhere around there, that's when our baby's going to be born. Luna Noelle Whaley. We're super excited to meet her. She is super strong, super powerful in there. She gets stronger day by day. You can put your hand on my wife's tummy, Alyssa's tummy, and wow, she's just moving around in there like like she's in some sort of burlap sack. It's crazy. She's a full baby in there. She's totally formed. She's totally ready to come into the world. So we're just kind of waiting now. I mean, we still have a whole month until she's officially due, but we really feel like it's super close. After waiting 8 months, it really feels like it's upon us. So yeah, I'm just focusing right now on staying focused on finishing my Mandalorian video. It's coming out really cool. This Mandalorian video, I found this really great track. I forgot where I found it, but I will put it in the description. I'll make sure to credit whoever created it. It was some Pond 5 website or some sort of royalty-free music website. Like I purchased the rights to it, so I can use it. I think it was like $100 or something, and I can use it in YouTube videos or whatever. So I have the rights to it, but I still want to credit the person who made it. I'm not exactly sure who did it, but it's really dope. This beat, it's got this really kind of action-y Blade Runner type vibe. So I'm excited. I've been doing this action scene where Mandalorian is killing a bunch of mercenaries to the beat, and it's been really fun. But it's just one of those things you really have to stay on top of. It's easy to let it slip away from you. You really have to make sure you get at least one shot done a day, if not multiple shots done a day. It's just stop motion, it takes so long, especially to the level of detail that I'm focusing on. Like, recently, Sean and we released a Lego Scooby-Doo short where he goes up against Pennywise for Halloween, and we tried to do it just really quickly, not put any thought into it. So I wrote it really quickly with Mason. I kind of had the initial concept of Scooby and Pennywise, and they unmask him, and it's Ben Shapiro, and I sent that to Mason, and he kind of came up with like the central thrust, like the story. And it's just like a quick, dirty TikTok, basically. But it turned out pretty good, actually. Like, we shot the whole thing in like 48 hours, Sean and we live streamed the whole thing. From the money from the live stream that we made from all the donations from you guys, from the fans, I was able to pay Sean with that, because I paid Sean like $60 a day plus food, which is really cheap. He cut me a really good deal. But, made that money back just from the live stream, so that's really cool. And then we got a really nice, fun, unique video from it. So it's not, the quality, it's not on the same level as my like premiere marquee uploads, but I want to do that more often. Like, I want to do one maybe for Christmas if I can squeeze it in, if there's enough time between this Mandalorian video and the birth of our child. Not Sean and I's child, Alyssa and I's child. That's a whole nother story. But yeah, I just want to try to keep more active on the channel and get uploads done. I'm going to try not to care so much and be so precious about every little detail. I'll have those videos, like I'll have the Mandalorian video or the Lego Star Wars Clash of the Dyad Rey versus Kylo video that are like these epic, intense-ass videos. And then I think it's okay to have some like fun, slapped together videos, especially if they turn out good. If they don't turn out good, then you lose 2 days and they're not as good. But if they turn out good, then I'll post them to the main channel, and you got a whole nother video for the folks out there, because I want to be able to stay relevant on this platform, and the only way to do that is to consistently post. So that's what I'm trying to do with this podcast and trying to do with the commentaries on this channel as well. I want to get those more popping. We're releasing Man of Steel tomorrow, the Man of Steel commentary track. It's one of my favorites that we've done, so I'm really excited to get people's reaction to it. I think it's going to be like one of those videos that will get more attention, because so far we've released 5 commentary tracks. The first one was Alyssa and I doing Hannah Montana, which I really enjoy that one. And then the other 4 are like horror movie themes for the month of October. But I think this is the first one where my fans can really connect to it and will really want to seek it out and watch it. So Sean and I have already done The Amazing Spider-Man, and we've already done Spider-Man 1, the Sam Raimi one. So we'll be releasing those throughout the month of November. Every Wednesday there's a new one. So yeah, just trying to stay on top of things, especially with the podcast. It's easy for it to get away from me. Like, I didn't even want to record today. I was just like not feeling great. The energy has to be really good, I feel like, for me to want to record a podcast. And sometimes, I'm stressed out, or I'm focused on something else, and I'm like, oh, I can skip a week. But Alyssa actually told me, like, no, you got to do it. You got to be consistent. So here I am doing the podcast. I got some stuff ready for you guys this week. I got some emails, and I've got some Am I the Assholes, which will be, I think, a new segment, because I follow some pages, and Alyssa follows some pages on Reddit that are pretty funny. There's like stories that are just ridiculous, and people are asking, are they the asshole in the situation? So they're kind of fun to go over, and every once in a while we'll probably feature some on this show, because I think they're pretty entertaining. And then real quick though, let's go over the news. In a ridiculous coincidence, the name of the sculpture Saved by a Whale's Tail is literally what happened. A train in the Netherlands was derailed. There's some sort of accident, and you can actually look at pictures of it. It's suspended in midair by this sculpture of a whale. And it's pretty miraculous. The sculpture is called Saved by a Whale's Tail, and the train got saved by the whale's tail. Just thought I'd mention that. That's pretty great. What else is going on Twitter? That's a pretty exciting story. The election. The election, we got the Electoral College, going to decide for us pretty soon who is going to be the next president of our country. So either way, people are going to be really happy or upset. And I think it's important to get some perspective on things. It's easy to get really inundated by all the news and get really overwhelmed by all the different sources of information coming at you, but really it's not going to affect you that much. It's really not going to change much of things. There might be some riots and stuff after the election, but all the doom and gloom that both sides are spouting, it's the apocalypse, the battle for the country's soul. It's all bullshit. They say this every single election. And it's just to get elected. It's just to scare people into voting for them. And really just focus on your own shit. Vote for who you want to vote for and move on. I think it's really like easy to get really involved in politics. And I definitely get involved in politics. I think it's important. But there's a limit. You have to call it quits at a certain point and just cast your vote in and call it a day. Yeah, I think there's a story. Oh yeah, there's this headline. You are no longer my mother. How the election is dividing Americans. Yeah, see, that's just too much. If you're disowning your own mother based on her political preferences, based on her, it's so funny too, because there's literally 2 options. I mean, I voted third party. I voted for Jo Jorgensen, the other Jo. She is a much better candidate, and obviously she's not going to win. But I just reject the entire two-party system. I think it's ridiculous because I disagree with lots of Trump's policies, and I also agree with lots of Trump's policies, but I also disagree with lots of Biden's policies, but I also agree with lots of his policies. But there's only two options. It's ridiculous. Imagine if there were only two options in the Academy Award for Best Picture. I mean, I don't even like the Academy Awards, but at least there's multiple options and any of them could win. It makes it an actual fun, engaging race. If there's just two options, then either side will claim one side of an issue, and then the other side has to claim the other side of the issue. It's ridiculous. So, yeah, I think the whole two-party system is completely flawed. More people should vote third party. That's not a popular opinion. You know, a lot of people think it's ridiculous. You know, they think people who vote third party are wasting their vote. But something to keep in mind is that both sides say that. You know, that's just a way of getting you to vote for who they want to vote for. And I honestly, personally, I truly believe a person should just vote for the person that they think is the best option to be the leader of the country. Really. I mean, it's as simple as that. But yeah, let's move on from politics. Yeah, I was just going to say, like, this headline, if you're disowning your own mom based on who she's voting for, when there's only two options, basically, to vote for, then you've got other problems. There's something else going on in that relationship that wasn't right. There's something else off in your own head that is, making you do that. It's really not about the election. Okay. Let's move on, seriously, to our main subject this week, and that is, Am I the Asshole? AITA. That's Am I the Asshole on Reddit. First up, we got, I made my husband pay all the vet bills because he blamed his stinky farts on the dog and caused unnecessary stress. We have a dog, Jerry. He's an absolute sweetheart. He has such a sweet and gentle disposition, and he doesn't have an unkind bone in his body. I love him dearly. A month ago, my husband, Jerry, and I were eating dinner when suddenly I smelled something really disgusting. My husband instantly made a face, so I knew it wasn't just me. To be honest, I am pregnant, and my sense of smell has been a little sensitive at this time. That's funny, yeah, because Alyssa hasn't really had any superpowers like that. She hasn't been able to smell better or anything, at least that she's told me. But yeah, I have heard people say that. Anyway, I couldn't stand the smell and left the room. Later in bed, my husband told me the dog farted. You guys, the smell was unbelievable. It honestly smelled a little like rotten eggs. I thought it was a one-off because the dog does fart, as do we, but it's never been this bad. Over the next week, the smell would come again and again at random times. I lit candles, incense, nothing worked. That's in all caps. This whole time, I thought it was the dog and said, okay, fuck it. I'm taking him to the vet. A dog this stinky isn't normal. Through all this, my husband kept silent. My vet recommended a diet change for the dog, so I changed the diet, but the stink continued. I was losing my goddamn mind, and my husband still kept his mouth shut. The vet was extremely confused and ordered a bunch of tests that cost a lot. Oh, shit. All the tests showed that the dog was fine. I'm losing my mind here. My anxiety started kicking in. What if there's something wrong with him? What if we lose him? I'm so stressed out. It all came to a breaking point, and I burst into tears. I had a full-on meltdown about losing Jerry, and then, you have to understand this nonsense has been going on for 5 weeks. My husband confesses that the farts weren't the dog, but they were him. Y'all, I lost it. I kicked him out of the house. He went to stay with his friends. Oh, shit. All our friends are on my side. To be clear, oh, God, they all know about it, too. God, now everybody knows him as the farter. Oh, that sucks. Just come clean, my dude. Oh my God. How bad could they have been? Because I've had some bad farts, like, especially recently. I've been eating a lot of Chipotle and a lot of hot sauce because of the streams. You know, I do the streams and people pay me like $40 to do the bomb on the stream, and it fucks my shit up. Like, these farts are just putrid, and I'm like editing and I have to like sit in my own filth. It's horrible, guys. And Alyssa smells them and she's like, you know, obviously they're rank, but I mean, like, how bad could these farts possibly be? I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. Just come clean. Like, it's way worse to lie about it. Way worse. Okay, anyway. All of our friends are on my side. To be clear, I don't mind he lied in the moment, but he knew we were going to the vet. The vet was confused. He even went to the vet appointments with me. It takes him a full-on panic attack and mental breakdown to say the truth. His mother, who normally thinks the sun shines out his ass, is on my side as well. She called him, in no uncertain terms, an idiot. I let him back into the house, of course, after I cooled down. He went to the doctor about his farts and was recommended a diet change as well. I told him in no uncertain terms that he has to pay me back my half of the vet bills out of his savings fund money, and the household budget was not made to accommodate his bullshit. He agreed, but isn't really happy about it. I don't particularly care about his happiness right now, to be honest. I'm not talking to him at all, but I want to know if I'm being fair by asking him to pay me back or if I'm taking it too far. Too angry to be rational right now. Wow. Yeah, that's such a horrible situation. Why would he lie? He must have been so embarrassed. I want to smell these farts, honestly. I want to get a nice clean whiff of these things because, I mean, they must have been pretty chaotic to cause this much shame in a man. We got somebody replied, that was so cruel to the dog. Yeah, honestly, I didn't even think about that. But to bring the dog to the vet, that stresses the dogs out. Like, and then to rack up, I mean, these people must have some extra money lying around because I don't think most people could afford those types of vet bills. I mean, I had a dog, Ford, who had trouble in his older age. I got him when he was old. I got him when he was 8, and I had him for like 2 years until he was like 10. And I ended up having to put him down because he had so many medical complications, and the end of his life wasn't great just because of all the problems he was having. I spent thousands of dollars on him before I ended up putting him down, just because running the tests, figuring out what's wrong, getting him the medication, it can rack up really quickly. So I can't imagine that this fart could be so embarrassing that you'd be willing to throw that much money away, and also subject the dog to such cruel treatment. I mean, it's not like that bad, but yeah, it's definitely not right. They gotta like draw blood and stuff. I mean, putting the baby at risk. I mean, your wife's pregnant, and it's like you're stressing her out this much. I mean, I guess he just got caught so much up in the lie that he felt like he couldn't come clean. Like the longer it went on, the worse it got for him the harder it got for him to come clean. Someone said that brings a whole new meaning to the term gaslighting. He should definitely pay for it, for sure. She's not the asshole at all. What do you guys think? Do you think she's being too crazy? I mean, no. I mean, she's not. She's totally in the right there. That's honestly like really heartbreaking. I would feel very betrayed, and they should go to like marriage counseling or something. Something needs to be done about that guy. He's obviously got some problems. All right, moving on to the next. Am I the asshole? I, 23 female, accidentally called out an ex of mine's name during sex, and my boyfriend, 24 male, hasn't talked to me since. Oh, geez. So yeah, this is the thing I always question in movies and in TV shows. It's like, how hard is it just to not say your ex's name? Like, I can't imagine people do this in real life. Like, I always thought it was like a trope in television or in bad writing, but apparently this person did it for real. So she says, 2 days ago, my boyfriend of 8 months and I were being intimate. Ooh. And I said the wrong name, my ex's name. I don't know why. I wasn't thinking of my ex. I haven't thought of him since he cheated on me. Oh my God. Oh, jeez. I don't have feelings for him. Yeah, bullshit. And I don't want to be with him. Yeah, sure. But I said it. It was an honest slip up, and it didn't mean a single thing. Oh, bullshit. Don't, like, you're getting fucked, and you're going to be like, oh, Jerry. Like, come on, really? Like, you're not thinking of Jerry? You just said his name. It's not an honest slip up. You're getting fucked. It's in your subconscious. Like, yeah, you didn't mean to say it, but if it slipped out, you definitely got him on your mind. Yeah, just in the relationship. It's over. My boyfriend understandably didn't take it well at all. He seems pretty secure and confident that I want him and only him, but he was shaken by what I said. He stopped and asked me what I said. I didn't realize I had even said the wrong name, so I told him I said his name. He told me he knew what I said and got off of me. And yeah, got out of me is what she meant to say. He asked if I still thought of my ex, and I said no, and he asked why I said his name. I told him it was a slip-up, but he didn't believe me. Yeah, I wouldn't believe her either. They have similar names. Oh, Jerry and Gerald. Okay, gotcha. If my boyfriend's name was Tyler, my ex's name was Ryder. What? Okay, so she's using, I think my names were better. She's using some assumed names here, some fake names. Tyler and Ryder. Why does her ex get to be Ryder and he just gets to be Tyler? Those don't even really sound that similar. Gerald and Jerry sound more similar than that. Tyler and Ryder. Ryder sounds way hotter than Tyler. Why did she give her ex the hotter name in the makeup story? Anyway, I honestly just said the incorrect name. Okay, we get it. It was a mistake. All of my girlfriends are telling me that he probably needs time to get over it, and my guy friends said that he might break up with me. I don't know what to do. Yikes. Oh boy. Yeah, well, yeah, I would say say you're sorry. Maybe I'm not, this isn't, directed towards me. This I just found this on Reddit, so I am not speaking directly to this girl necessarily, unless she somehow stumbles across this podcast, which is highly unlikely. But if I were in that situation, if I were how old is she? 23-year-old female? Yeah, I would try to give him like a blowjob. Maybe come on to him, give him some really good neck, and say, I'm really sorry. Your cock's way bigger than his, and it pleases me far more than any other cock ever has, yada yada. Just fluff him up a bit. And if he's still not into it, I would say, well, maybe we should just call it quits, and that will be the determiner. There, the ball's really in his court, because that's just fucked up. I if I did that to a girl, oh my god, I don't even know. Like, thank God I've never done that Looney Tunes shit. Like, I can't believe that people do this shit in real life. Like, can't you just control like what you're saying? Are you in such ecstasy, like, that literally like words come out of your mouth that you're in a witch's trance? Like, maybe I'm fucking wrong. I don't know. I feel like I fuck pretty good. Like, I feel like I have a really good sex life. Like, I'm really satisfied with my sex life. I have really good orgasms, but I've never been to a point where I'm like spouting random gibberish that I can't even control. Like saying random subconscious thoughts. Like, I'm pretty controlled, I feel like. But I guess some people just are just much looser with their emotions. I don't know. That's wild. I just can't fathom that. Has anyone ever done that during sex? Can someone comment? Guys, what do you think about this? You should comment below. Let me know what you think if this woman is redeemable, or if he should just move on. What would you do? What would you guys do in this situation? Because if I was fucking a girl and she said Jerry and my name was Gerald, I would pull out and I'd tell her, you got to figure your shit out. You got to go talk to this guy and see what's going on with that. I don't want to get wrapped up in this because you obviously still have these strong feelings, and maybe if she was like really remorseful and she made it up to me somehow, I would reconsider. But initial reaction would be not so good. Give him some space. He really needs it after that. Let's see, what are people saying? You done fucked up. It's in his court. A lot of guys won't be able to come back from that. Yeah, that's so true. Depends on the person. I wouldn't have a serious problem with it. People make mistakes. Check out all the comments in this thread where people are jumping through hoops, like only calling people babe just to avoid accidentally doing it. It's easy to do if you've been saying one name for a long time, and it doesn't necessarily mean anything. Bullshit. What? That's crazy. It's easy to do if you've been saying the same name. What? You've got a whole different man inside of you. All right, whatever. I'm moving on. Next one, last one. Am I the asshole for not allowing my sister to bring her service dog, quote unquote, to my wedding? She was supposed to be a bridesmaid. She had a fake service dog. She says it's for PTSD from our childhood. We had an extremely normal childhood, and she has always been a very attention-seeking, problematic person. She got the dog as a puppy and started calling it a service dog in training, so her landlord would allow it. Nice. Good moves. Yeah, now she has convinced herself that she actually needs this dog and that he's performing some kind of therapy for her. Problem is, the dog is not a trained service dog. It barks, it will rub up against you and get slobber, hair on you, and scratch up your legs if it's excited. Yeah, it's a dog. I'm getting married in 6 months. We were discussing wedding stuff, pictures, etc. when she informed me that she would be bringing her dog and putting him in a doggy tuxedo so he could fit in. I told her absolutely not. She went off on me and said that I was the cause of her childhood trauma, ? And that she needs her dog with her. She won't be coming unless the dog can come too. I told her she was being ridiculous, that the dog isn't even trained and there is nothing medically wrong with her. We had an exceptionally normal childhood with great parents. We never financially struggled or anything like that, and we were never abused. She is now refusing to come to my wedding and trying to get family members to take her side. She is saying I am discriminating against her disability, PTSD, anxiety from a super normal childhood. I think the whole service dog thing is her way of feeling special, standing out, and getting attention from others. She loves the attention the dog brings, and it's super obvious. The dog has its own Instagram for real. I'm also worried that she will use the dog to steal the attention on my wedding day. She has done this at family birthday parties with the dog and other events. She literally needs people to pay attention to her and her dog. Am I the asshole because I don't want my sister's fake service dog on the altar with the bridal party for my wedding day? Wow. That is awesome, honestly. I should have thought of that. Just if you're feeling like you need some attention, just get a service dog. Everyone will love you. Wow, that's awesome. I think that's great. Honestly, she's not an asshole for not letting the dog come, but it's also kind of fun, having a dog at your wedding. I wouldn't mind. If the dog is like overly aggressive or something, or just really disruptive, then I would say no, but it doesn't sound like the dog is super doggy, it sounds like just a normal dog. She kind of made it sound bad by saying, he rubs up against you and gets hair everywhere and slobbers and all this stuff, but it just sounds like she's trying to fluff it up a little bit. It's probably just, a normal dog. He's probably, decently well behaved. I would welcome that personally. That would make the weddings are already pretty boring, so I think a dog would spice things up. Not that I hate weddings or anything. I just think that, they can get kind of traditional. They can get kind of boring. If you're not super invested in the people getting married, if you're just going there because you're like invited by someone else or something, you're like the guest and you don't really know the people that well, they can get a little bit tedious. So I think a dog would bring good energy to the wedding. Let's see some responses here. She is purposely misusing terminology to take advantage. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm kind of on her side. I don't think the other person's an asshole. She's probably just really fed up with her sister being this person. But I think it's kind of hilarious. I think, she's got that kooky sister, and if her sister is convinced that she's got, mental problems, that's her truth. I don't really think you should necessarily argue with her. That's not going to get you anywhere. Either don't invite her to the wedding or accept that she's going to have this dog and it's going to be like this pariah. She's got a weird sister. Oh, by the way, my brother, he's coming to Los Angeles pretty soon. He's going to be coming on the 5th. So I'm going to try to record the next episode of this podcast with him. So if you guys have any suggestions for things for my brother and I to talk about on next week's podcast, please email me, justforclickspod@gmail.com. That's also where you can email me questions like the emails we're about to get to, or hot takes, or whatever you want. And anything interesting, anything that's juicy that we could talk about that would be entertaining on the podcast, please email me there. I'm running out of good emails. I got a few good emails today, but I need some fresh ones. I need some good stuff to react to from the loyal listeners out there. Okay. I don't know. I don't really have much to say about it more than that. I think you should let the dog come. Why not? It doesn't seem like it's an aggressive dog. I think it might be a good time. See what other people are saying. The way you speak about her sends massive red flags, and without hearing her side of the story, you already sound perfectly capable of being the abuser. You have nothing nice to say about your sister, yet everything was perfect in your childhood. From the bully's viewpoint, of course everything is perfect and everyone else is just an attention-seeking wimp. And yes, there is a major difference between an ESA and an actual service dog. However, I don't think I can judge whether this dog is a true ESA or a service animal, as you obviously have a tilt to how you told this story and described her dog. Yeah, that's a little too far. I wouldn't go that far. Jesus Christ. They're on the attack. These people on Reddit, they're just they're on the attack, man. Everyone's on the attack. I can't sympathize with people who are just super aggressive like this. Like, chill out, dude. Chill. Okay, that'll do it this week for the Am I the Assholes? We had two assholes. Or no, we had two non-assholes. Yeah, the first one, I made my husband pay for the vet bills. You're not the asshole. Accidentally called out my ex name. Yes, you're the asshole. That wasn't really a you're the asshole, actually. That was just relationship advice. Fuck, I fucked this up, guys. The second one wasn't even an am I the asshole. But she is an asshole for that. That's fucked up. Have control over what you say. Like, what the fuck? And then the last one is, am I the asshole for not allowing my sister to bring her service dog? No, you're not really the asshole, but you're a little stuck up. You're not really that open. She's probably one of those women who wants to have like a really traditional wedding. You know, it's gonna be so beautiful. It's gonna be the perfect day. It's gonna be the best day of our lives. Our wedding is the best day we'll ever have. It's all downhill from there. Yeah. How about, when your kids are born, or how about when your kid gets married, or like how about when you just have a nice day with your family, down the road, or something. Your wedding is the best day of your life. Anyway, let's move on. Let's move on to the emails. Let's get these emails popping from the loyal listeners. We got some good emails today. The first one is from Jurassic Films, and he says, bad friends and political stuff. Nice. Hey Forrest, what's up? I've been having some trouble over the past year or so with friends. It's a really complicated story, so I'll try to make it short and sweet. In third grade, I found a great group of friends and have been hanging out and having fun for a while. One of my friends, Kyler, has become really political and racist. Wait, Kyler? Not Kyle, Kyler. It's like Kyle with an R at the end, like Kylo Ren. Is this guy Kylo Ren? Kyler. He has become really political and racist over the past couple of years. It doesn't help that most of my other friends agree with him. It also doesn't help that most of the kids at my high school are also really radical and believe most of the stuff that he says. It got to the point he was saying the N-word so much at school, a black guy got into a fight with him. Nice. Yeah, fucking kick that guy's ass. My parents also have been getting mad at me for hanging out with him. I know they're just trying to help, and I am trying to not be friends with him right now. It's just really hard because he keeps saying I'm not racist and your parents are pussies. Parents are pussies. I'm not racist. I just say the N-word all the time, and I'm racist. I would like some advice to help me out. Congrats on your epic family, by the way, Jack. Oh, thanks, Jack. Wow, that is an issue because it's a struggle. I've had the same struggle with my friends too at times. Not anything this bad, but yeah, there's this push and pull. You want to be loyal to your friends and you want to back your friends up naturally, but then sometimes they might cross the line and it becomes necessary to call them out. And I had done this before. I have called out friends if they've said something that I found extremely uncomfortable or extremely rude or aggressive. And it never feels good. Calling someone out should feel good, but it doesn't, especially if they're a really good friend. You don't want to call them out and shine a spotlight on what they're doing or what they're saying, but sometimes it becomes necessary. I would say, if you're not just going to stop hanging out with him altogether, I think you could ghost him a little bit and he might start to get the message, just naturally. If you don't want to be super confrontational, you could kind of just like ignore his texts every so often or hang out with him less, or just like, when you do hang out with him, be a little more distant. Or if he brings up racist stuff, quickly change the subject kind of like in an awkward way so that he kind of gets the message, like a sour note was hit, and then maybe he'll pick up on that intuitively. That's kind of the subtle way to approach it. The less subtle way would to be, to have a talk with him, sit him down and be like, listen, I care about you as a friend. I just find it hard to be around you when you're, saying this stuff. He'll probably reject that. Like you said, I'm not racist. Your parents are pussies. Your parents are pussies. Yeah, no, fuck that, dude. That's, he's calling your parents pussies. That's kind of aggressive. Yeah, this guy sounds like a real piece of work. Where do you live? All your friends agree with him? What the fuck? This must be in the South. Alabama. We got some Alabama listeners. Got some racist fucks listening to this podcast. Why don't you go back to your own country? Jesus Christ. Yeah, it's just, it's sad, really. This kid, he's obviously got some confidence issues and he doesn't feel like he has anything special about himself. So in order to feel good about himself, he has to feel like he has to put others down, and he has to feel superior to others without actually having done anything. It's a lazy way. Racism is just a lazy way of feeling good about yourself. At the end of the day, that's what it is. Instead of actually, being really good at a sport or being really good at whatever you do, woodworking, calligraphy. There's a myriad of hobbies out there, but you can be really good at them. You can be really good at playing guitar, and you can find pride in that. And I think pride is important. Without pride, we don't have a whole lot of motivation. Not everyone's like that, but I'm a very prideful person. I take pride in what I do. I can relate, to the feeling of wanting to stand out, of wanting to be special. And when you're not feeling that way, it's easy to kind of other people, other certain groups of people, and say, well, I'm superior to them, I'm better than them just because I'm white. That's the lazy way of handling situations that you're not comfortable with or you're intimidated by. A racist person is just a scared person. So I feel for your friend, I feel for your situation, and I personally would probably just stop talking to that person or talk to them much less often. And when I do, if they bring up something like that, I would probably make a joke, be like, wow, we're bringing out the N-word again today, or something like that. Something to let them know that I'm not okay with this, but also not going to be like super serious about it. I'm not going to be like, listen, man, you can't say that word because, this, and that. I'm not trying to be there. I'm not hanging out with friends to police them or to be their political daddy. I want to just hang out with friends and not try to, because once you start talking down to someone, even if it's something that's obviously true, like don't say the N-word, like obviously that's true. But once you start doing that, you're putting yourself in a position of authority over them, and that's not the kind of relationship that I would want to be a part of when it comes to a friendship like that. So yeah, that's a tough situation to navigate, but I have faith in you. I'm glad that you're recognizing that this behavior is unacceptable and you're making steps towards improving that behavior. Hopefully your friend can start to find things that excite him and start to find things that give him confidence in this life that other than just being white. All right, let's move on. Thanks, Jack, for writing in. Let's move on to Jacob. I won't read your last name. Oh, he says his last name. Okay. I'll read your last name. If you put your last name in the text, I'll read it. Jacob Rhodes. He says, hello, my name is Jacob Rhodes. I've been listening to the show, and I love it. Thought I'd ask for some advice on dealing with something. Ooh. Question. I was a part of the Netflix show Teenage Bounty Hunters, which sadly did not get picked up for another season. I was wondering if you had some advice for getting past the bad news and getting back on the horse. It just sucks finding out the bad news, and although everyone is upset, I am trying to move past it, but thought your advice would help a lot. Been a huge fan of all you do since the beginning and hope all is well. Good luck to you and your wife on becoming parents. Dr. Jacob Rhodes. Are you really a doctor? Huh. Do I have a doctor listening to this podcast? Lit. Well, thanks for writing in, Jacob. First off, congratulations on being a part of a Netflix show. That's pretty sweet. You didn't really elaborate onto what capacity you were a part of it. I assume maybe you're an actor, or I don't even know what the show's about. I don't know if it's a fiction show or a non-fiction show, but just be excited that you were a part of it and that you got to have a season be made. Every show that gets greenlit, you shouldn't assume that there's going to be a second season. A second season is rarely a given. I think most shows, well, I don't know this for a fact, but I would assume most shows only get one season. And then if they're successful, they'll get a second season. I feel like things are changing now. Like Netflix is always greenlighting shows for second seasons and then third seasons. So, I don't know exactly what the numbers are, but I feel like, yeah, you shouldn't assume that a show is just going to have a second season. So don't get your hopes up too high on a project. Just be excited that you got the one thing done and be hopeful for the future. Just be glad that you were part of this project and now you have it for your reel. Don't take it too personally either. Like, a lot of things are being canceled right now because of COVID and everything. So there's a lot of shake up. A lot of people are dealing with personal family issues and other things. So there's a lot of factors that go into it. And you just have to keep moving on as a creator, as an artist. Like I said, you didn't specify exactly in what capacity you took part in this show. But it's exciting that you were a part of it, and just try to keep that ball rolling. Try to leverage that into further success and keep your eye on the ball. That's about all I have to say on that. Thanks for writing in, Jacob. And last email is from a man named Anchorman. Okay. I assume that's not your real name. Hi, Forrest. I've been watching you since I was 5 years old, and I still watch you today. Oh, Jesus. I hate emails like this because it makes me feel bad. Where were your parents? 5 years old. My channel is not for children. I tell people this all the time. I'm like, yeah, I make Lego animations, but it's kind of like South Park, where it looks like cartoony, but it's very adult rated. 5 years old. That's insane. But hopefully you're older now. It seems like you are older now because you said since I was 5 years old. So now he's 6. Good job with your Scooby-Doo video. I can't wait to see more videos you do. My problem is this girl at school that I like. She seems to like me as a friend, and me and her talk a lot, especially on Snapchat. She is used to the way I talk because when I text her on my Instagram, she easily figures out it was me. Me and her have a lot of cute moments, and she is only 2 years older than me. Oh, geez. Me and her also go to the same school together, but I can't see her because we're put in groups because of COVID. But recently I texted her I miss her, and it said she was typing, but nothing popped up for text, and then I would say a few things to her for the next few days, but she just gave me dry responses or just ignored me. Oof. I worry if I make her uncomfortable when I'm not trying to, and I don't know if I should ask her out, and I hope you respond to this email. Thank you, and congrats on your kid coming soon. Yeah, baby Luna, man, she's in the pipeline. She's ready to go. Thanks, Anchorman. Yeah, this is a classic case. It seems like you're still pretty young. You didn't specify exactly how old you are, but this is a classic, dude. You have interest for a girl, think things might be going well. You get her number or her Instagram or whatever, but then your texting game is just all wrong. There's no chemistry. You're getting dry responses, and then you're like, fuck, did I fuck this up? Yeah, you fucked it up. It's time to move on to the next chick. If she was really interested in you, she would be texting you back. She would be doing more cute things with you. She wouldn't be giving you dry responses. She would be making an effort to see you. It shouldn't be hard. It shouldn't be difficult. You shouldn't be stressing about it. It's time to move on. It's just, when you're young, just at any age, but especially when you're young, it's really hard to detach yourself from the idea of being with someone. Like, you get a crush on a girl or a boy or whatever, and you're like, I got to make this happen, So you put your whole heart and energy and mind and soul into this idea of being with them when really it's not up to you. You can present yourself, you can be the best version of yourself and be good to her or him and try to get around them. But at the end of the day, it's their decision. And if you're not feeling that vibe, it's just important that you recognize that and sever the arm, amputee. You know how when Herschel got bit by the zombie and Rick had to hack his arm off or something. I forgot. His leg. Yeah, you had to hack the leg off. You got to move on because there's lots of other people out there. You will get that exciting, flirtatious feeling again for another person the sooner that you move on from this. So I would say, if you really feel like there's something there, if there's potential there, shoot your shot, ask her out on a date. She'll probably say no, but who knows? Maybe she'll be like, oh, maybe she's just a weird texter. Maybe she'll be like, yeah, that sounds lovely. I'd love to plan a date with you, and then you can plan the date. But really, it sounds like you should just move on. Guys, that'll do it for this week's episode of the Just for Clicks podcast. Thanks so much for listening. As always, it's been real fun. It's been real exciting doing this podcast. Please email me, justforclickspod@gmail.com, if you have any burning questions or desires or things that are juicy topics for this show. As always, I've been your host, Forrest Whaley, and I will see you next week. Oh, Jerry!